Hello everybody, welcome back to Encounter Roleplay. My name is Will, I'm a D&D6 icon. I'm back today for yet another episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist. I've got a crew back with me today for some more games, so let's get into it, my friends, and let's figure out who we are and who we're playing. A couple of us are away. I know OMG Vanny's moving house right now, so back with us soon. And Pip, unfortunately, is feeling really sick, so we wish her well and to get better, but it is that time of year. But the rest of us, the strong, will survive. Perhaps. We'll see when it's just us and Greg. How's it going, Greg? What's up with you, man?
Man, I'm doing well. My internet and audio and everything else is not. So, I don't know what's going on. I apologize. All the fixes have been fixed, so you can deal with me jerking around as I figure out what we're going to do here. But I can't wait. Love playing in the City of Splendors. Despite my audiovisual problems, I shall try to convey to the best of my ability the beautiful story that we have. And now with all the accolades and kiss-ups mentioned, I will give it back to Will.
Fantastic stuff. And of course, we have James back with us tonight. James, how's it going, my friend?
Hello, I'm doing very well. I am excited to get back to Waterdeep after a little bit of time away. I was just thinking about what we did last time, and oh, right, we're in front of a mind flayer. How my creations come back to haunt me. Well, I'm all ready to fight. Let's do it.
Fantastic stuff. Awesome. And of course, we have Mythomatic back with us tonight. Myth, how's it going, my friend?
It's going well. I'm super hyped to be back in Waterdeep, in this iteration of Waterdeep, where I play Edmer Daggerfell, I guess a once comedian, now street urchin, is wandered his way into the depths of Waterdeep. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if he can get a little more high, and let's see if we can kill some more crazy giants. I think that's what I slew last time, which was nuts. Anyway, I'm excited. Let's TPK. Mind flayers are great. Let's do it.
Let's get high in TPK. That sounds like an offer I can't refuse.
Right.
So myself, I'll be playing Graham, the Dragonborn Alchemist, who's a little bit less wise than the rest of the party. He's a little bit more new to this whole adventuring thing, so he's trying to get the hang of it. But it seems like he rolls fairly well when it comes to killing people. Less so last week, but I think I'm back in my hot streak against Graham. We're just gonna have to wait and see. But before we do, I'll remind you guys of a couple of things. The first of which is that, of course, we're sponsored here today by fantasygrounds.com, so go ahead and check those guys out. The demo license is free. It's a great virtual tabletop, and you're going to have a great time using it. waylandgames.co.uk as well is a go-to destination for board games, war games, minis, and more, up to 20% off the retail value. Then tabletoploot.com is a place to go to get all of your dice needs. At the end of tonight's show, we're going to be giving away a set of dice for you guys there in a chat, so stick around, and you will be in for a chance to win some dice. Also, here is a tweet for you guys. When it helps out a retweet, go ahead and do so. 20 retweets. You guys in the chat there get to decide something which happens next in our game. It could be a good thing, but most likely it'll be a bad thing. And of course, you can donate to affect the game as well. You can play as Nat 1s, Nat 20s, Wild Magic Surges, and worse. But I'm going to hand back over to Greg, see how his internet's holding up there, and to see if he can take us into tonight's episode of Waterdeep Dragon Heist.
Well, my friend, I have checked everything, and my internet seems to be fine. It is just, once again, me and technology, especially. We're water and oil right now, so I'm going to try to make up. All right, I'm going to try to make up with this particular program, which doesn't seem to want to make up with me. But we're going to go ahead and get back into it. And as we get back into it, I'm going to let everybody know exactly where we started and where we stopped, because we have to go forward, or have to go backwards to go forward here in the City of Splendors. So, as this will be interesting with the stop-start, but here we go. I'll hand it over to the town crier.
Stop motion encounter roleplay.
I'll be right back. This is like poor claymation, everybody. I'll be right back.
Well, thank you, my friend.
Ding, 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 ding. Hear ye, hear ye. Ruva gone. Spoiler alert, it's Artemis that has her. Doggy paddle in poop. The Iceman sleepeth. Val and Cyric killed a guy. Best to lay low, Val, because you're probably wanted for murder. Floon found. Floon guarded. A half-orc, an intellect devourer, and a mind flayer walk into a shithole sewer. Nihilor, the mind flayer, mocks Morwen. Morwen nopes out with a fog cloud, but not before Squidward smiles. See you on the morrow. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so as we drill back down into the City of Splendors, and hopefully everybody can hear me, and I'm not breaking up as bad audio as I am visually. We were inside. Okay, we're inside a room, and the room has, as described before, an almost fallen regal feel to it, as the walls around are covered with curtains that are threadbare and stained with the refuse and with the time in which they have hung here in Waterdeep sewers. But as the party entered and they saw the object of their quest, Floon, tied up on a chair, being threatened, tortured, harassed by a half-orc with a magic and glowing fist, it was not that mixture of captive and captor that captured their attention. It was the sight beyond that to the south, where upon a dais and perhaps upon a chair very similar to a throne, a mind flayer, one Nihilor, sat, legs crossed at the knee, gently petting and stroking the brain with paws off to the side of the chair. Upon seeing this, a haphazard or impromptu passionate plan was hatched between Val and Morwen, where Morwen pushed Val into the room, instructing him to get the man in the chair so they could get out of here. And in so doing, she decided to cast a fog cloud between the half-orc, the man in the chair, and the aforementioned mind flayer. She did so, and the fog crept and coalesced in the area, obscuring the vision. But before that last bit of tunneled cloud, that last bit of condensed atmosphere obscured this horrific creature from sight, its eyes met Morwen's. And though Morwen had never seen a creature like this before, she knew that the twitch and motion of its tentacles was a smile. She knew that its name was Nihilor. She knew all of this because it was in her mind. And as it nodded and smiled in this otherworldly grin, we're going to say, for the sake of narrative, as it stands and as the fog reaches its crescendo, Val, you are the closest to Morwen, and you see Morwen freeze. A very unnatural pause as her eyes go wide. They cease to blink, and she stares straight at the creature now broken by her own fog. I'd like everyone to roll initiative, other than, of course, Morwen. And I will take control from there.
Morwen!
No, I already hate this.
I already hate this.
That is a defeat.
All right, initiative time, baby. Oh, what did I say?
Oh,
What did I
baby.
say? She's back. Lady Luck.
Okay.
17.
Ooh,
17. Nice. Okay, so we've got
Thank you.
Graham. We have got Edmure.
Yep.
We have Val.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we have followed by, where is Renair goes next right after Val. Followed by everything else that you want to go at the end of a turn. So
Hey.
I think, let me double check. I see a couple of these things popped up. Yep. Oh yeah, you guys are good. So to set the stage of battle one more time, you see marked on the map by a G is the half-orc that seemed to have been threatening Floon.
You reset up first, Greg.
Oh, yes, I certainly can.
Yeah, it forgets. I mean, I could find it probably, but it's just easy, isn't it?
Aha.
Yeah,
We have a battle map.
It should be shared now.
There we go.
So at the strangely now inverted G, you'll be able to see that that is the mark of the half-orc that is threatening the man in the chair. And now there is a fog cloud roughly across the area from a square beneath the G and covering about 5 feet by 15 feet. And so with that, you will no longer see either the brain with feet or the squid with legs.
Oh, okay. So we don't have vision on them right now then.
Correct. The fog cloud has taken them out of visual sight. You do, however, see the half-orc who has now been tactically separated from the rest of the host. He is still kind of surprised by your appearance. He is lording over the person that looks very similar to Renair, with the kind of reddish blonde hair, who's tied up in the chair. And he seems to be the only threatening person in your line of sight. Graham, you're up first, bud.
Oh, threatening person in my line of sight? I don't like that. Graham's gonna cast a firebolt at this guy. Let's see if this works. Oh, an 11?
No, that's not gonna cut it in this particular situation. I'm afraid, Graham, that do you have a bonus and or a movement that you would like to do?
I'm gonna move. Yeah. 2, 3. Oh wait, yeah. I'm gonna here next to Val in the corner. Right now.
Okay, and narratively how this plays out is as you cast your firebolt and spray it at the half-orc, it's coming straight for his face in surprise, and at the last second, the red glow of the arcane fire around his hand flexes and flicks from a purple to a blue as you see it bounce off some type of projected shield around his body as your firebolt obliterates against some type of invisible barrier.
Oh my god! He's magic! He's using magic! That's my turn.
And you're up, bud.
Graham doesn't really think he knows magic, so...
I guess I'm gonna... I am gonna... Could I guess I'd have to... I can't move and then withhold my action, can I? I'd have to, like, withhold it? And then withhold the whole thing, right?
No, I don't do that. If you want to move and then hold your action once you get to the position, the only thing I don't let you do is hold your turn. So you can, move to a spot you'd like to move to and then give me a triggering action for whatever action you'd like to hold. We can do that. So you can move, and then what would you like to do if something happens?
Can I go here? And I will, I'm going to run up between Val and Graham, and I forgot his name. And then I'm going to have my sword out and like kind of protect him, because I don't know what he's talking about. And my trigger for attacking is if he goes after anybody next to me. I will then swing with my sword.
We're such cowards.
So if he gets in melee range to either Val or Graham, you're going to then launch your held attack.
Yep.
Great.
Yes.
Perfect. And then I will go down. Yeah. You good to go? All right, let's go over to Val. Val, what do you got for me?
I look at this half-orc who is menacing a man who I can only presume to be Fluten Blagmar, and I crack my knuckles, and I stride right up to him, and I say, "You like threatening innocent people, do you? I'll bet you think you're pretty smart, wizard. Let's see if you can outsmart my fists." I'm gonna bop him twice, right in the face.
Get him.
So, here comes these attacks.
Outsmart these.
That's the technical term. Yeah. Let's see. So here's 2 attacks at +6. 13 and 18.
The second one will hit.
That is going to be a hot 8 damage right to that guy.
Okay, so as you blast into this half-orc's face, you feel the crunch of his already kind of misshapen nose splatter against his left cheek. And as you retract your fist covered with the gore of the half-orc and you pull back to hit again, you see his eyes roll up into his head. The magic ceases. You can feel almost as if a hum or somebody that had cast a tuning fork silences it with a grab as the hoo goes out, and you see a dispersal of that blue energy. And he falls, hits the chair that Floon is on with a grunt by the captive man, and then comes to rest on the ground at your feet. The half-orc does not appear to be dead. He appears to be very, very unconscious.
My boy can't take a hit, it seems. I look uncomfortably towards the fog cloud, and I'm going to try and pick this guy up if I still have action to do it. I'm going to pick him up kind of by his collar, let him slump unconsciously in my grip, and shout into the fog cloud, "Monster! What have you done with Morwen? I've got your man! Tell me, or he gets it!"
As you pick up the half-orc and as you feel kind of the dead weight of your kin, I'd like you to roll a perception check for me.
Very well. Perception. At +2, here we go. 21.
Nice. So as you pick up, you realize, and perhaps it's the training that you've gone through and knowing your own body as well as it is, and knowing the tactical strikes and the nerve clusters, that somebody of Val's skill, how he kind of engages the enemy. It's an anatomy class. And so when you pick up this half-orc from the ground, you immediately realize that it's too easy, that this isn't truly dead weight. And then you look down and you see the eyes snap open as the half-orc, who, of course, is able to go down and come right back with 1 HP, played possum a bit, but was caught by his own kin, as you are not going to be surprised by this strike, which would have been advantage. So if he does, in fact, go for you, he will go for you now as he reaches up and attempts to grab you with a hand that is shaking with electricity.
Oh, bravo.
And so I don't think a 9's going to hit you, my friend, as...
No.
I mean, yeah, no, the casting modifier... might be 11. No, it's still not going to hit you. So he reaches up with the hand that's crackling with energy, and you're able to grab it at the wrist. We're going to say, for narrative's sake, the 2 half-orcs are in some sort of half-grapple dance as we cut down to a parting of the mist. As the 2 half-orcs struggle in front of it and in front of this captive man, we see a brain on 4 paws launch out into the area.
Oh boy.
And as soon as it pads up, it looks around, or you assume it looks around since it has no ocular cavities. But as it sees what is in front of it, it assesses a threat. And I would like Graham to make a intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Oh, I'm scared. Okay. Oh wait, this is... Oh no. I was like, I've got a +4. Oh wait, my roll is shit. That's a 9, Greg.
Okay, and with that 9 in play, you are going...
Mind your crits, everyone. We have some.
Oh,
we may
yeah,
need them.
I always forget.
I always do too. Every time.
Okay, so you are going to take... You are going to take at first shot 11 psychic damage, Graham.
Oh! That is a mindfuck right there.
That sucks.
And I am assuming that Graham has a higher than 11 intelligence. Does he?
Yes, my intelligence is 14.
Okay. So as you get hit with this psychic blast, you immediately feel this pressure, this invasion. It almost feels as if somebody has taken your dragonborn skull and is compressing it between some type of mechanical vice. And as you feel this pressure begin to rip through, causing the psychic damage, you realize that all that pressure and damage is it's almost like a distraction to allow an invasion, as you feel these foreign thoughts coming into your mind of hunger, of seeing your brain as something not just for the computation of problems and philosophical debate, but of food. And just before the first bite is taken, you're able to force the creature's thoughts from yours. And as you kind of stumble back, it starts to pad around as it looks at everyone else. We are back up now to the top of the order as Graham, Rainier Neverember runs in as well, and he is going to take position beside Morwen. Should anything get through you all, he is going to act as last gasp guard for Morwen, since, of course, they did trade weapons. So back up to the top to Graham. Graham, what would you like to do?
Oh dear. That thing, I don't like it. I'm gonna try and hit it with my firebolt again. Please. That's a natural one, Greg. Natural one.
You see it kind of skip to the side, and as it skips to the side, as you use your brain to cast forth this magic, as it's ripped and burned from the study of which you've had, I'd like you to make, since it's a natural one, and this is combat, another intelligence saving throw for me, sir.
Oh dear. Time to die. Oh no! Why?
Crits.
Why do I do this? Why don't I use my crits? I'm such a plan.
Okay, and as its attack is already done,
Good night, cruel.
Again, you feel the press onto your brain. There is no additional psychic damage, but you feel an invasion as this creature is very, very keen on getting a bite of that dragonborn brain. So you're able to push it back one more time, but the sweat or perspiration or the dragonborn equivalent is soaking your entire body, Graham. It's a flop sweat akin to mortal fright. And as you realize this thing so desperately craves something that you very much need, those two natural ones that you rolled are causing a bit of a shock in your system. Let us go to Edmure. Edmure, you see your ward in a bad way.
Yeah. What does he look like right now, Will, as you are suffering from these?
I think just like
these
slowly, sort of like frothing
of adulthood.
in an almost dumb sort of way, just like.
Okay.
Probably looks like he's high to you.
Right. Probably does. I am gonna maybe step forward and swat at this thing as if it was like a mouse and I had a broomstick. Because to me, it's just like a rodent. It's disgusting. I've killed rats before. This is just maybe a rat. So he's gonna at least maybe it may fight like a rat. So he's gonna try to baseball swing. I guess more like a golf swing with the bone sword that he has, marking the target for its death. I guess by I guess I still have some sludge and mud from my face from sewage from last time. I'm gonna throw it at it, marking it, and then I'm gonna, like I said, do that golf swing and try to swing it against the wall. with that. So hold on as I do math and everything. Perfect. I could have used a crit and I didn't do it. See now? You see what I did? All right. So 11.
As you come in for your baseball swing, coming in exactly as Edmure Gilmore, as you approach like a 2-step off to the side, absolute everything you've got behind this swing. As you slice through the air with the bone sword, it whistles through the crevices and the cracks of the kind of almost coral-like sword. And as it cuts through, the creature, as if it's very akin to a cat at play, it just hops to the side as it whistles past it, and it looks up at you and kind of cocks this glob that is a brain, as if you get the distinct impression that this thing is having a blast. And so, do you have anything else you'd like to do, bud?
No. I'm probably gonna swear and curse as if I did just miss my golf swing, and then maybe, I don't know, mentally fix a divot for the next round. Yeah, that's
gotcha. Love it. Let's cut over to Val. Val, what are you gonna do, my friend? You are currently engaged with the half-orc in front of you. He looks in a bad way, but if your namesake and your racial kin is anything to understand, you know that every hit point means life, and every hit point means the fight, and he's still fighting. And you're muted, my friend.
Thank you. So I've got this guy in kind of a hold, but we're grappling back and forth. I am just going to say, I like to know the name of people before I knock their lights out. I'm Val. Who do I have the pleasure of beating up today?
And as you're going back and forth, almost like a musketeer dance, and instead of rapiers, it's the grabbing and the positioning of forearms and wrists. And for a moment, you pull shoulder to shoulder as the two of you are almost like cheek to cheek in a lover's embrace. And as you ask and say your name is Val, this kind of throaty underbite with an undertusk points up and says, Grumshar.
Good to meet you. Good night. And I'm gonna punch him in the face.
Nice to meet you.
How does 15 do?
15 is exactly what you need to hit this bad boy, and I know your minimum is going to be, yep. So with this, you crack the undertusk off at the root, and as you smash it against his face, what was a dance quickly turns into just, instead of a couple's dance, you're doing a single. As on the ground now, seemingly for good, Grumshar is breathing deeply and deeply unconscious. Anything else you'd like to do, my friend?
Yes, I have one more attack left with my other fist. I'm going to pivot around and face that brain with legs. And I'm just going to try and kick it. I'm going to try and punt this guy. That's going to be a 20. Not a natural
and
20,
with the
but a 20.
Yes, with a dirty 20, you certainly are able to kick it. And as you strike the foot out, again, the creature seems to be at play. And with the violent strike that comes at it, it bats at it with one of its paws, and it kicks it right in the middle of the paw. And you think in everybody's mind, you hear a whimper as they're like, oh! And the creature seems to get back and kind of haunch up a bit as the bit of brain matter and gray matter rises in the middle. It might not be playing anymore.
Ooh, don't like that. That's all I can do. This thing is disgusting.
Okay, and so not liking the idea of being hurt, I would like Val to roll an intelligence saving throw for me.
Ooh, okie dokie. I don't think I'm very good at those. Nope. Oh, big money, no whammies.
Oh.
Uh-oh. That's a whammy.
That's a whammy. Whammy.
Straight up whammy.
And is a 12 more intelligence than what Val possesses.
Oh no, yes!
Hoisted by your own petard. So as Val kicks the creature immediately turns, targets the half-orc. Val, your intelligence is reduced to 1. You are stunned, and you can make no actions until you pass your next intelligence saving throw. You are, for lack of a better word, a half-orc breathing vessel and little else. And so, Edmure, Graham, you would see your large friend just slump and go slack in the face as every ounce of intelligence is drained from his body. Everything that separates him from a single-celled organism, as there is just a vacant stare to nothing. And as we have gone through that, and as I'll go ahead and do this for Big Grum. Grum's breathing gets a little bit more ragged. As we go back up to the top of the order, Graham, what would you like to do, my friend?
Everything I do is terrible. But wait, aha! I have natural 20s, and I remembered this time. And I'm going to use one. So I would like to firebolt this some bitch with a natural 20, Greg. How do you feel about that?
I feel great. It doesn't matter what Greg thinks.
I feel good about it. I don't care about your feelings.
I'm all right with it.
All right. Baby, 15 points of fire damage. Graham stops frothing from the mouth as he sees his friends in trouble. No! Pass out the bolt of fire. There can be
only one person who froths, ever.
There must only be one frother.
There always must be a frother.
It's the perfect place to start. Okay, so as the bolt shoots out, you see it engulf the brain as if the gray matter itself was dipped in some type of flammable liquid. Perhaps it was. But instead of playing and instead of enjoying itself, you all hear the scream in your minds as this creature ceases to exist. Its body loses composition about a third of the way through the burn. The legs kind of split and hang in a limp manner as the brain itself collapses like a balloon. Val, within about 30 seconds, you kind of shake your head. And yes, chat, you are correct. It should be a reduction to 0 instead of 1 intelligence. So, but the stunned effect still lasts. So as you sit there, you come back around and you're able to force the effects away with the death of the intellect devourer that you were just fighting. A moment later, you hear the ragged breathing of Grumshar continue to get more and more labored as the other half-orc appears to be dying. The captive is sitting there wild-eyed looking at you, not seeing rescuers, but perhaps seeing this is a man that's been switched around with different kidnappers and captors for the last 48, 72 hours. He's not sure exactly what to think. But as the fog cloud dissipates, Morwen, unfortunately, still staring ahead, rigid as a statue. The creature, the mind flayer, is not there.
I feel like my intellect was just devoured.
Yeah. Oh,
Where's
Morwen?
Morwen.
Wait, did you say she's still there? Staring?
She's still there, just staring straight ahead.
Yeah.
I'll put a hand on her shoulder. Morwen, are you all right?
And James, Val can see, since he knows Morwen best, that it's almost, there's a tracking in the pupil. She's there. She can't move, though. You see no other physical indications. There's no twitching of fingers. There's no firing of muscles along her body. But something in the way that the pupils dilate and retract just a bit, you can see that she's there and that she is extremely frightened.
Oh, thank Timora you're alive. Listen, I've got a fog cloud in my head right now. Just hold on to my shoulder, and I'm gonna try and grab her arm and put her around my shoulder, and I'm just gonna try and sort of hoist her along. Just don't let me trip anyone. I point towards Bram or Edmer kind of hazily. Don't let me trip, or both of us are going into the shit river. So let's just be all right. Let's just be careful.
Okay.
Stay behind me.
We all good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. And
I start like marching in like this weird slump of like I'm still in a haze as well from being very high. So I'm at that high that every blood hunter gets into, where they could think they could take on the world, and that's what he's doing right now. Is he's just like, get behind me, it's fine. I took out that. He's still riding the high of the adrenaline from slicing open that giant. So he's like, yeah, get behind me, it's fine. Now we gotta find a friend.
What are we doing here again?
It's at this point that Renair, who is with you and had been guarding, Morwen runs up and begins to untie the man in the chair. And as soon as he gets free, and as soon as the man that's the captive sees Renair, his eyes immediately begin to, and they embrace as soon as the man is free enough to do so. And turns to the rest of you and he says, "This is my friend. This is the one that Volo sent you for. Well done." And he looks at the brain with legs. Well done.
I thought that disappeared. The brain with legs.
Oh, it's there. It just looks like a deflated balloon with 4 furry legs
Right,
on
yeah,
it.
you said that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like, well, if we got fluent, then we go back, right?
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
we should bring back the kidnapping victim.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And then we come back here and find Ruva.
Yeah. Oh God, Ruva.
Right.
Oh dear.
We're a bit worse for wear, our party.
Yeah, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. I'm fine.
Okay, yeah.
I feel great. Actually, never felt that.
I'm gonna pause for a moment above Grumshar's body, and I'm gonna try and like gracefully kneel down, but I just kind of collapse onto my hands and knees as I do so. Morwen kind of tumbles off me, and I clumsily fumble, trying to get a pair of fingers on his wrist and feel for a pulse. I'm just gonna mutter, "Hey, how are you doing? You still with all of us? Still in the land of the living?"
Roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Mediocre.
Whether it's an effect of your own fog that you're in, Val, or not, you do not find a pulse.
Gods have mercy on your soul, you dumb idiot. I'm gonna grab more and I'm gonna stand up. That's more we can do. Let's save our own skins. Get out of here. I think that's the best course of action. Oh.
All right. We want to press forward, or we want to go back?
Oh, I want to go back now. I think. I mean, I feel like I'm almost dead, like in my brain.
Yeah.
Brain dead.
Yeah. All right. Follow me. All right.
Okay.
I don't know how we ford the river, but
Oh, I don't want to swim again.
Let's see here. As you all are now in this area, you can see that branching off to the east for you guys.
No.
There
Decisions.
are there are several rooms that look like either they have pallets in each of them. They look like places to sleep. Also branching off to the west, you see a pair of double doors. One of them is loosely ajar. What would you all like to do? And of course, you can retreat in the way in whence you came if you would like to, again, ford the river of shit.
I don't want to do the river right now. Maybe we could, take a rest here for a little bit and then think about the river later.
All right. I mean, I could probably. I've slept in worse.
What do you think, Val? I just don't want to go through the river again. I feel like I'm 2 rivers away from death.
If that's the way you feel, I wouldn't mind a bit of a nap myself.
Just a quick one.
Little snoozle to shunt out the brain fog. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Hey, little snoot for the snooze. Clear out the brain fog. That's what I heard.
And you hear
that's what I
the
said.
little cap comes off and behind the, I guess, in his cloak.
I like to think that Edmure is an Afrin addict. That's all it is. It's just like straight up nose spray to clear and open the sinuses. And, oh, that's it. Open them up. All right. So, yeah, you guys taking a short rest?
He just has a deviated septum. And now, when he breathes, when he can breathe actually a full lung load of air, he actually feels alive. It's actually what it is.
Right, it's like he feels normal. He just suffers from seasonal allergies. Right.
It's a really bad hay fever.
And he's also allergic extremely to the medicine. That's why his face is swollen. It clears up the sinuses.
So he's addicted to the cure, but the cure doesn't really work.
Exactly.
Okay,
Graham's
so
gonna hold up
that's him.
Yeah, you guys can do hit dice if you'd like to. You have 2 whole hit dice now if you'd like to use them when you're short rest.
Right.
And before these hit dice are fucking terrible. Let's see. All right, I can't complain.
I think I'm unwounded hit points wise, so I'll just chill for now.
All right, I'm feeling a lot better after that. Back in the green.
Right, and what we're going to say too is with the death of the intellect of our, instead of going through normal recovery rules for intelligence or ability score stats, to keep the old flow going, you're able to kind of creep back up. You still feel stunned, and so certain perception checks might have to be done at disadvantage for Val, but no other effects, no other exhaustive effects or anything like that. So you're in a haze, but you're back.
I'm happy to hear that.
For those of you that did not have to take a rest, what would you like to do?
Those of us who did not take a rest?
Who didn't take a rest?
Yeah, because I don't think, Edmure, you didn't have to take a rest.
Yeah. I guess I am probably going to study the deflated basketball of the fishery brain, and see what that's all about. Because I've never seen this, and I think I'm trying to realize that. Oh wait, this is not a weird vision I'm having. This is actually what's in front of me. He also is going to try to. I guess he's been really inspired too by that sweet critical. That if you've missed, you could go back and watch the video from last episode of how awesome I was. He's going to then I guess kind of reflect on that And with that, try to, I guess if anybody wakes up or has trouble sleeping, they'll see Edmer actually training, which he's never done by himself without the aid of Ruva or without anybody else. So he's actually, when he's on his shift, you see him, he sets up some of these pallets, and maybe one of his spare bed is up against the wall as he, instead of using it like a baseball bat or any sort of golf club, he's trying to actually like find his center and like trying to like actually feel the weight of the blade. Like a fighter would, rather than him just having it, because Ruva made it for him. So he feels like he may be, because the last nothing really was affecting him in that fight. So he still, I think he still feels very proud of his ability that may or may not be there from the luck of him not being affected by that battle. But he thinks he's on top of the world, so he's gonna train and help these guys, because right now that's what he feels like, that we're gonna need help because we're losing people quickly. So that's what he's doing. If anybody, like I said, wakes up or has trouble sleeping, they see him training. Long-winded description.
Interesting.
That's what I'm doing.
No. Interesting. Is he doing so high?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I would like you to make me either a strength or a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage. I will allow you to pick which stat you use.
Probably. I'm gonna do the worst one. I'm gonna do dexterity. I'm gonna do dexterity, Greg. It's gonna be +1 at disadvantage. 9.
Okay, so
we got a mediocre and also a mediocre.
Okay, so we got 2 mediocres. As you are practicing for just a moment, just the briefest of moments, Edmure, you feel the life before the drugs, maybe it's the sweat, maybe it's just the physical exertion, maybe it's the focus. You're not quite sure what it was, but for just a beat, so quick as to be perhaps a distraction, but you feel it was there, and for a moment you didn't feel like you needed them.
Cool.
But then it's gone and you have the craving again.
Yep.
So you guys rest.
This is working.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you all rest. You guys come out of it. You are in the same situation as you were before. Morwen is able to walk. She is able to stand if directed. She is able to follow. She is able to, if you take her hand or arm or guide her by the shoulder, she will travel at your speed. She doesn't do anything else, though. So you can kind of walk with her, but as far as her climbing, swimming, doing something that would require independent movement, not real sure.
Okay. Well.
All right, Morwen. Just go ahead and come with us. It'll be okay. We'll get you back to the tavern, and you can have a real rest, a long night's rest.
Yeah.
Good idea. Let's get out of here. It's all bad.
Oh, you're
I feel
all
like I
awake.
can-
Hey,
Hey.
how did y'all rest? Everybody good? You ready to? We gotta.
Yeah, a lot better now, thanks.
As good as can be expected. I've still got a bit of a twitch in my eye, but I think I'm fine.
Yeah, that's awful. Look at it. Yeah. Open a bottle in their eye.
Oh.
Yeah. All right.
Okay,
We should probably.
Do we want to head down, or do we want to just head back the way we came?
I think we should just go back the way we came, because we know we won't get lost that way, and we've got what we came here to get. And I don't fancy going down the way that scary tentacle man went.
Yeah.
So-
You're right. Probably not a good idea.
As he kind of feels a little down that we're not going that way.
Yeah.
Okay, as you're all leaving, I would like everyone to make a perception check. Val, unfortunately, has to do so at disadvantage.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh well.
15.
I think 11. Yep.
So that one was good, but okay.
That one was better.
Right, still a good check. All right.
Nice. So a dirty 20. With the dirty 20, Val, as you kind of push yourself up and you look around the room one last time before you leave, where anything, or especially with the state that your mind's in, it could have definitely been missed, but you recognize it for what it was because it's something that you were intimate with before. In the air, floating with the last remnants of Morwyn's fog cloud, you see bits of ash, and it's the same ash that had appeared when Ruva disappeared.
Huh. Interesting.
What you got there, Val?
It's the same ash as when Ruva disappeared. But none of our party disappeared. Morwyn's a bit discombobulated, but we're all still here.
You mean like from a spell or something?
Maybe so. I'm sorry, I'm totally in the dark. I recognize what's going on here, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I don't no idea. No idea.
Well, you know what this means? Once we're back in the back topside, we go to the library. We try and find out what all this is about.
It's the most excited Graham's ever looked. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I've got spare cards. You know, I can give to you guys. You can get your own books and stuff, and I'll show you where all of the different where the young adult fiction is. It's the best one.
Perfect.
What?
You'll have to tell me where it is. I've never been.
Library? No.
They've got books on drugs there, Uncle Edmund.
Well,
and shoes.
First order of business, we have to get out of here.
As you all are able to creep back the way that you have come, the way that you have known, it's easily tracked as there aren't any branches. You get back to the cistern of shit. You are able to navigate said cistern, get back to the path in which Ruva disappeared. However, the entire time that you're doing this, you are obviously not exhausted with exhaustion levels, but you're been through the ringer a bit. And it requires all of you to get Morwyn from one point of elevation down into the water, carry her through. It's a constant kind of lifting of her dead weight. So by the time you all finally pull yourselves back out of the sewer with Lucifer waiting for you on the far side of the shit cistern, unable to converse with any of you, and seeing that their friend is in a awful state, immediately takes the weight of Morwyn as you kind of put the Triton on the back of the large lynx. You're soon able to get to the streets of Waterdeep. You are all suffering one level of exhaustion after having slogged through a river of shit, much like Andy Dufresne, but this time you have achieved your freedom on the outside, and as you get out, I'm assuming your destination is once again London's fog.
Time to go back and put Morwyn to bed properly, and then we'll hit the library.
Okay, so as you pop out, I would like somebody to roll a d20 for me. So, Myth, why don't you roll a d20 for me?
17, I think.
Ah, excellent.
17 ninjas attack.
Exactly 17. As you walk out, and again, as it was stated, this is the cool beginnings of fall here in Waterdeep. As you guys pull yourselves out, and as dusk is taking hold of the city, there is a whip of cold air that blasts from the dock and from the sea, reminding every citizen of Waterdeep that winter is just around the corner. And so as you all are walking, getting eyed both for the cat in which holds company with you and for the overpowering smell of human shit that you are all reeking from as you are walking through Waterdeep. You are able to make your way back to London's fog, but not inconspicuously, as you might as well have been in a parade. But you soon walk in, and as soon as you enter and the little silver bells sound by the door, Gordon looks up and says, "How can I? Oh my! Wow! Hey!" As you all walk in.
Hey! What's up?
Nothing.
What's
Any of you?
the matter? What happened?
You okay? Did you get attacked?
Immediately, the three people that look to be university students that are in here writing their screenplays get up, fold up their scrolls, and walk out as one of them gags. The absolutely oppressive smell of fecal matter is off-putting, especially in a place where you're meant to eat and drink things. And Gordon looks at you all like, then he looks down at the bipedal lizard, and Jeff cocks one eye with the ever-burning cigarette in his mouth, and he snaps his fingers 5 times, and with each snap of the lizard's fingers, you all are clean, as prestidigitation has been cast among all of you.
Oh my... Wow.
Oh,
I smell great.
It was pretty smelly in here, but... So you guys cleared it up.
Yeah, it was
That's
pretty
our
bad.
first
in
to be
here,
in
but you
the
probably
Yeah.
cleaned up whatever that was.
As soon as you all come into, Volo appears from the back in the table in which he was sitting when you first entered London's fog, and he comes forward and embraces Floon and kind of puts his hand on Renair's shoulder as they kind of come everyone, come back this way, please. My word, you've done it. You've done it. Have a seat. Gordon, drinks, everyone, whatever. And he just sets you down, and Gordon goes over and actually flips the sign closed on London's fog, as you can tell at this point that there's a somber feeling here in London's fog. But you go back to Volo's table and sit down, and you realize now that you're at this circular table in the back corner with the light and the windows around it, that this table actually says Volo's table, and it seems to be reserved in perpetuity for the very writer that is flaunting and flapping before you, if somewhat reserved.
Hey, Mr. Volo, we found a friend.
You did, my boy. Excellent work. What happened? And over the course of the next
Yeah, I go tell him everything.
yeah. Over the course of the next few minutes, you're able to describe exactly where you found him. Upon knowing your relationship with Volo and the safety of London's fog, you get the following information from both Renair and sort of from Floon, as well as being one of his confidants, that it appears Floon was captured and kidnapped because they thought he was Renair Neverember. And Renair was targeted because his father, Lord Neverember, was believed to have taken quite a large sum of money from the citizens of Waterdeep. This money is secreted in these gold coins somewhere in the city, and the various gangs, whether they be Zents or Xanathar, believe that his boy, Renair, would know something about where they could find an artifact called the Stone of Galore. Apparently, this stone could lead the way, or light a candle, or perhaps offer guidance towards this cache of riches. Other than that, Renair knows nothing, as he and his father are estranged. He does not believe in his methods. He does not believe in his politics. He does not believe in his father. But the underworld of the very city of splendors upon which you walk had to make sure. But that's the information you receive. But in addition to that, you also hear the following news delivered by Volo himself. They found Jonesy. He was, he's dead. We're not sure exactly what happened, but, he, passed violently. And,
my God.
Yes.
Violently? What do you mean?
Did someone kill him?
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yes, I appreciate it. His body was found. He was murdered in an alleyway. They are calling it street violence with the gangs afoot. It's quite possible that he's just fell prey to it, perhaps. I don't know. But to the money that I owe you all for finding my friend Floon, I have something far better to give you all. It seems that Jonesy left me this place as his friend. I'll leave it to you all now. It's worth far more than what I promised, but I believe you've earned it, and I don't want to run anything like this.
Pardon me.
I don't want to be reminded of him. This place, the London's Fog. It's, they came this morning from the castle and said that the wishes of Jonesy were to bequeath this to me, of all people. And he looks over at Gordon, and Gordon's like kind of furiously kind of cleaning a glass. I would have thought that he would have left it to him, but, he's left it to me. And I, in turn, am going to leave it to you all. I don't want it. And I believe Jonesy would like you all. You're helpers in a city that needs it. But, and he kind of scoots forward a stack of very old papers with a pinned recent piece of parchment on top of it. And as he passes all of that over and you all begin to kind of maybe just haphazardly look at it, you realize that the London's Fog, the coffee shop upon which you now sit, was originally called Trollskull Manor. And it had been bequeathed to several people, but recently bought by Jonesy in his lifetime, the past 45 years or so, and turned into what you see around you. But the building itself, in the area in which you come to frequent and come to go, it's called Trollskull Alley. And the London's Fog, is one of the more successful businesses here, one of many. But it seems as if Volo wants to give it to you.
I don't think we can take this. I mean, that's a lot, right, guys?
I accept.
What?
That was very nice.
Oh.
Thank you.
And I grab his hand and I shake it vigorously, like, in any sort of movie where they have that over comedic scene where he's like,
Yes, thank you. That's very wonderful. So excuse me, Gordon.
and as I try to make my way behind the bar, he's probably still angry.
Never coming here again.
Exactly. And I start assessing where everything is. As if I'm...
Yeah, Gordon's eyes...
throwing mugs.
Right, Gordon's eyes drop as he kind of finishes cleaning one of the mugs and places it back on...
You're right again.
And Volo, upon hearing this, turns to Graham and Val and says, "You're not going to really fire that boy, are you? He's very hard worker. He sleeps here. He's... maybe you could keep him? I'm not so sure about the lizard, but it is...
The lizard seems useful.
This is kind of his life's work.
Yeah, I don't think we could fire him, Uncle Edmure. This is a lot of responsibility.
I'm fine. You're right again. Cheer up.
I kind of like pat him on the back as a really awkward new manager is now in. There's no idea what he's doing.
Okay, as soon as you pat Gordon on the back, I'd like you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay. Yep. 16.
When you pat the boy on the back, you feel the shirt and the vest that he's wearing give. And for a moment, it's as if you are patting nothing but clothing. He immediately pulls back from you. What are you doing, mister? Don't touch me. Okay?
You're just trying to be. Yeah. Sorry, I get it. I was just trying to be endearing and friendly. So where's the creamer? I think that went bad. I just want to know what the smell is.
It's right here. And because of your perception check, you see him reach down for there's no such thing as refrigeration here, but there is a drawer in London's fog that has a perpetual frost spell cast upon it. And when he touches the handle to open it, you see two of his fingers pass through the metal of the handle as it opens, seemingly of its own accord. And he reaches in and just kind of points and says, some creamer right there.
Yep, all right, yep, looks, yep, smells like creamer. All right, thank you. That was, wonderful. I'll be back. You keep doing what you're doing.
As I kind of make my way back over to Volo's table and I go,
Hey, we gotta talk. We gotta talk.
What do you need? You talking to me? Or?
Well, yeah. Do you know about? I touched. I patted him on the shoulder, and then it looked like.
Oh, you never touch him.
Well, yeah, I know that now, but I went and I touched it, and it was like my hand went into his torso, like it was like a mannequin, or something like that.
Listen. This is a somber time for everyone. This is a somber time for everyone. Now listen, if you don't want him, you have to fire him. And that's not, you have to do that. I'm not doing that. He and the lizard, they've always been here. They're sort of fixtures. I don't know, he's been here forever. Be nice to him, and he seems to be very pleasant.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, well, don't touch him. Why are you doing that?
Do you know about things, supernatural and otherwise, yeah, and spirits, right? You wrote that.
Roll an insight check for me.
Yeah. How's a 3, Greg? How's a 3?
It's a powerful, strong 3.
Thank you. That's what I say to a lot of people.
He would say, Jesus, man. He would say, you don't get an idea or a feeling that he knows more than what he's talking about. But at one point, even with the pamphlet comment, which would normally send Volo into a flippin' rage, he walks up and puts his hand on your shoulder, Edmure, and then immediately looks at the hand and wonders why he just did that, and then puts it back on your shoulder and says, he's a good boy. He'll help you. He helped Jonesy. He just, he can't leave.
Yeah, I think I'm smelling what you're stepping in. get it. All right. I'm still right.
And then I head back over it. Jonesy, and I like make sure I'm against the wall. Or not Jonesy, Gordon. And I make sure I'm against the wall, and I try to squeeze past him very awkwardly, and then try to assess where everything is again. Try to figure out the espresso machine, even though I have no idea what I'm doing. Steam goes everywhere. I burn myself. I start laughing. I try to chuckle with Gordon. There's this slapstick scene happening at the espresso machine, is what I'm trying to say.
Right. So Gordon is, as soon as he realizes that you're back there just to kind of help, he immediately, his demeanor changes and he's no longer on the defensive as he says, oh, no, you just do this. And you realize the big contraption that would be this like steampunkian espresso machine that has... Yeah. Right. It's just got valves and stuff, and you can tell that there are perpetual cantrips cast in certain areas of it. It's a very impressive device, but within a while, he has you explain to you. You understand what he's doing back here. This is the realm of Gordon, and kind of in conjunction with Jeff, who is the lizard on the table. But Jeff doesn't crack an eye. He just sits and sleeps like a cat with that cigarette constantly burning in his mouth that never seems to burn down. But you all apparently, if okay with it, are going to be given London's Fog as your payment for recovering Floon.
I'm going to pop over to Edmer and say, hey, so that guy Gordon, he's going to work out, you think? He's going to...
Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Everything got weird for a second. Are we good? Are we live? Am my internet hiccup?
We're good.
I can hear you.
Okay, all right, so it's just me.
Hiccup,
all right,
we're
cool.
good.
Sorry. My bad. All right, so he goes, yeah, I could see him, probably being here for a long time. Even longer than he's been here already, and I think that there's room for growth, and there's a lot of synergy we can do, and I think there's really a lot of ways that you and I could improve his behavior as professionally, and he can move on. The only real way is up, and I think he's a great fit. I think he should be here for a long, long time.
Val just through all of this gives him
the fact that he may, yeah.
Just dead-eyed stare. It's like all of that washed over him, and nothing except. And he nods and goes, "Good.
Yeah. It is good. It's really good. Really good stuff. You want
and I walk
coffee?
away.
You want a coffee? I'm figuring everything out.
Actually, mocha is my favorite. I can't get enough chocolate.
Oh, I made a test mocha right here.
It's already cold because he made it a while ago.
Well,
I made this one. There you go.
As soon as he slides the coffee over, Gordon would come in and kind of scoop up the cold one, turn back around, and within about a 45-second turnaround, he would produce a hot cup for Val.
Cheers, and I grab the cold one.
Cheers.
I go, cheers, Gordon.
And I go to cheers, and I go,
never mind. I get it.
Cheers. Like as if it was not cheersing close, but just like a long distance high five, just like a cheers. He doesn't want to touch him at all, but he's making it too obvious.
So, with the acceptance of Volo's gift, if it were, upon you all, Morwen is able to go into the upper levels of this London's Fog, which was formerly known as Trollskull Manor, and you realize that this is a 4-leveled building that goes well beyond what you've seen here at London's Fog. It is a very nice, perhaps the nicest building in this alley that you've currently come to know by your passings and your goings in this area. But with all of that, what I would like Will to do is, Will, if you would roll me a D6, we're going to see how many days pass here in the Cities of Splendors.
3 days.
So for 3 days, you are all getting accustomed to life here in... here in London's fog. You are getting used to the frequency and how this place is it's a strong little business that's going on here that Jonesy and Gordon and Jeff have made for themselves. But also in those 3 days, Morwen has not awoken and Ruva has not appeared. As the three of you in particular, Renair Neverember and Floon and Volo going about their separate ways, Volo apparently on some type of book recruitment, understanding, investigative tour that he is taking him away from the area for at least a week. He promises to be back when he can. But you are all now business owners, it would seem, in the City of Splendors. And for 3 days, you run a coffee shop known as London's Fog here in the former Trollskull Manor. But it is on that third day that a striking woman walks into the bar. And as soon as she walks in, she eyes Gordon. And Gordon, cleaning a mug, begins to step back a bit. For the sake of the narrative, we will say the three of you are in the main room when this woman walks in. She is dark-complected. She has hair that brushes the tops of her shoulders. She is carrying a large Blackstaff.
I've got my little painting corner that I've set up, where I've it's mostly just my stuff at this point, and poetry that I've written and stuff. So I come over and I'm like, hey, welcome to London's Fog. Can I get you a drink, or if you'd like to see some of the artwork here on display by local talented artists?
Yes, I would. What is your name?
My name is Graham. My name is Graham. That's nice to meet you. I don't think I've seen you in here before.
This is my first time. Vajra.
Vajra? Yeah, that's a nice name. Very pretty. Uncle Edmund, can we get our new friend Vajra here's a drink? What would you like to drink?
Tea.
Yeah.
Tea, okay.
Tea.
All right, tea. All right, tea. Okay, all right. So it's a tea, Gordon. So it's okay. I got this. We used this file.
You see, Gordon points to every sequence that we're supposed to do.
No. I got it. And then it's the
You got it, Mister.
Water.
You got it. Yeah.
And then it's
Good.
you getting colder. Am I getting colder?
As I head towards the fridge, and then there's it takes way too long, and finally tea shows
up. Right. He just starts pointing, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're ultimately able to get one for her as she looks around and says, Graham, is there a vow with you and a Morwen?
Yeah.
Triton, I believe.
You're friends with Val and Morwen? Yeah. Val's just over here.
Is it tea, ma'am?
I look up from the newspaper I'm reading, the broadsheet. Did someone say my name?
Hey Val, this is Vajra. Maybe you know her?
Everybody make it
the newspaper.
I then flip through the newspaper. Who is this person? Intelligence? Everybody?
Please.
2. I walk over and I look at her for a moment. No, I can't say I've ever met her. Hold up the newspaper, put it under my my arm. I hold out my hand. Pleasure to meet you. And I flash this big grin with tusks full on display, just big and as shiny as I can make
it. Val, she would take your arm in a warrior's grip. Not a hand-to-hand shake, but if offered, she would take it forearm to forearm as she leans a bit on the staff upon which she's carrying. And Graham, it is that staff which, with all of your time spent in the young adult fiction section of the library and kind of perusing current events on your way in, you realize that in conjunction with the name Vajra and the Blackstaff, you realize that this is Blackstaff Vajra. She is the mistress of the tower. She is in charge of the academy.
Yeah, she's her staff. Black. She's the. You're the.
I'm just impressed by the powerful handshake she's given me. The big, sort of cheesy grin I've given settles into this rather impressed smile, and I return the shake wholeheartedly, and I say to her, "Well, welcome to London's fog, indeed."
If I had known, I wouldn't have let you have the tea. I wouldn't have let Uncle Edmund make the tea. I'm sorry.
What are you babbling
It's
about?
quite good.
This is she's a Blackstaff. The academy.
I look at her.
She seems to.
I look at him.
She seems to wave
Huh?
that off when you say it. No.
She's a big deal. She's like famous.
She's famous. Why haven't I heard of her?
You know.
She
thing
smiles at
famous
that.
people hate.
Right. Exactly. Normally, if she were a soap opera star or a understudy on Broadway, this would require a backhand to Edmure. But this particular person takes it in stride and loves, and smiles a very broad, genuine smile, if a bit controlled, as she is used to dealing with members of state and military and unsavory folk. But she indicates a table that just so happens to be Volo's table and says, "May I borrow you all for a few moments?"
Yeah, all right.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
sure. Take as long as you want with me. That was.
It's a.
Go on, you've got control.
I'm nervous.
Graham, roll a charisma check for
really
me.
dry.
I'm gonna look at Vajra though, as this is happening, and I'm gonna say, "You asked for Morwen, didn't you? I'm afraid she's in no state to receive visitors."
Is there something wrong? Perhaps there's something I could do to... She ill, or we could summon a priest?
I think she's really sick.
Well, if Graham trusts you, I feel I can say this to you. We were in the sewers a couple of days hence, and she encountered a creature, a being with rubbery skin and tentacles on its face. She gazed into its eyes, and, well, she's been addled ever since. She hasn't spoken. She can barely move. I fear for her.
It's pretty bad.
I know a creature like this. I shall send something with instructions. I shall send something. And
Well, if you could do that, I'd be most grateful.
You see her close her eyes for a moment, and when she opens them again, there is just the brief crackle, though nothing visual, of some type of arcane burst. Yes, I can help. Please, perhaps we can have an exchange of aid. And she motions again for the chairs.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you want to take
looking
those
up everybody
chairs,
as they make my way.
those chairs were cheap, but they're pretty sturdy. So if you want to, you can take 4 of those chairs, and
She walks over and sits down.
Test them out. Yeah, test it out. See if you like it.
Would you please like to sit down? Would you please like to sit down?
I'll stress test this one for you. See, they can't break. This one kind of broke.
Everyone sit down. Everyone, if you...
Right.
I think Edmure also goes along with it until she probably, like, I don't know, pulls a chair out and gestures to it and goes,
okay, we got it.
We'll all sit down and
Close table,
test
but
chairs.
okay, all right.
For a moment, with these eyes that look at you, the face and the carriage of the woman across from you looks and appears too young to carry such wisdom and such weight, But it is those orbs that she now weighs you all with as she looks from one of your faces to the next. And finally she says, I need your help. Perhaps, as I mentioned, an exchange of aid. But you are said to be trusted from Renaer Neverember. And he is a man that I've come to trust. Perhaps...
You're a friend of Renaer's?
Yes. Well, as much as one can be for somebody not of the arts. And she laughs at a joke that is not funny. I need help. As you have seen, the city itself is on a razor's edge, a powder keg, any other cliche that you would like to employ. My normal forces are spread very thin or conveniently removed from the city entirely.
That's inconvenient. But
she smiles at Graham.
Your forces? What forces do you command? Graham, who is this woman? Who is the Blackstaff?
That's her. I mean, she's the Blackstaff. She runs this cool college, and she's like got
that thing she's holding is the Blackstaff.
She was in Waterdeep Times magazine. She's on the front cover of every paper you see around. She's super cool and mysterious and powerful, and she's I
mean, all of these things are true.
Yeah, I guess.
But I mean, they're true, but I frown upon. I will allow you to obviously finish all of these wonderful things you're saying before I interrupt you, but I really, when I mean the forces I employ, the friends upon which do favors for one another, I am fresh out. And as Renaer Neverember speaks for you all, and you all were able to cause some consternation for not one but two of the gangs in the city, I find that both intriguing and proper. Can I employ your aid? It should only take but a day, and perhaps we could, I could aid your friend Morwyn. Free of charge.
At this time, Edmer sleights of hands, very deftly, doesn't even need to ever roll. He's going to put the sending stone that he has in his pocket. He's going to grab that and drop it in the mug that he has, the empty mug that he has, and pretends to keep drinking it and places it on the table. And as he tries to bug this conversation for a faction and an organization that he doesn't know, but has sworn his loyalty to.
Sure.